Hello, I am Audrius Punzevičius. I am Senior Product Manager at Bentley Systems. Today I'm going to talk about ProjectWise Drive. First of all, let me explain briefly what ProjectWise Drive is. ProjectWise Drive is a solution that provides a link between your local computer and Bentley document services. That is ProjectWise 365 documents and ProjectWise Work Area Connection. It creates a link between cloud files and your computer. To the end user, it looks like part of File Explorer, very familiar part of Windows. On the left side in the navigation pane, they can see their projects. On the right side, they can navigate through folders, discover documents, files, and work with them. For applications running on the computer, Drive ensures that any file on the cloud that is needed for application is downloaded just in time. The latest version of the data is available. This way, those applications can process the files as if they are here on the computer, not really having to know that they're brought from the cloud. By bringing files both to users and applications, ProjectWise Drive creates possibilities for many new workflows and broad variety of users in engineering projects. What are ProjectWise Drive benefits for ProjectWise Design Integration users? The first one that I would like to highlight is being able to rationalize ProjectWise usage cost. So in projects, large proportion of participants don't use design applications and they don't require ProjectWise Explorer with its full integrations for most of the work. ProjectWise Web was offering from Bentley Systems to address needs of such users, where they could use a lighter interface, a simpler interface to do their job. But until Drive was introduced, they could not do fully functional file content creation from web-only interface. Now with Drive, this is possible. So many more of existing project users could be moved to web-only interface. ProjectWise Drive is licensed under the same license as ProjectWise 365 or Work Area Connections, so the cost per user will be the same as current ProjectWise Web. The second benefit is that ProjectWise Work Area Connections with Drive will be appealing to more users in your company than before. So if in the past people would not be using ProjectWise because they didn't want to install and learn how to use ProjectWise Explorer, which is a new application, a new interface. Now with ProjectWise Web and Drive, this will be easier. Also with being cheaper per user, it's more cost efficient to expand number of people who are exposed to ProjectWise in your organization. Combining those two benefits, you can improve your data consistency and project efficiency because, first of all, larger portion of overall project participants will be members of ProjectWise ecosystem. Hopefully everyone in the project would have access to it. By doing so, there will be less need of using multiple other repositories in the project. And with data being stored in one place, it will be easier for people to find the latest information. They will not need to make copies. So they will not be referring to data that is not up to date. And this will benefit in overall project delivery consistency and efficiency. Who should use ProjectWise Drive? The first group of users are those who do not use engineering or design applications, but still need to create or view contents using desktop apps. This includes many project roles. Indeed, based on information collected from our ProjectWise usage data and user interviews, we know that often in projects, there are more users like these than those who use design apps. The non-CAD users use common applications such as Microsoft Office, image editing and PDF viewing, and so on. Usually these applications work with a single file at a time. Because of Drive, these users can now work in familiar File Explorer environment and still get all benefits of ProjectWise managed environment. This includes access control as defined in ProjectWise, document creation wizard, which allows creating documents following document numbering rules and entering other metadata during document creation. For many ProjectWise configurations, it is essential to have workflow functionality to be available to everyone using the data source. Currently, workflow features can be accessed from Drive through a browser in Work Area Connections web interface. The second group of users is design and engineering application users. For a significant part of their work, they will use ProjectWise Explorer with integrated applications such as MicroStation, Power Platform vertical apps, and packages from other vendors. While the most important CAD applications are integrated with ProjectWise Explorer, there are still hundreds of others that do not have specific integrations. Some of them work quite well without them, and some of them do not play that well with the way ProjectWise Explorer handles files. For example, Drive could help working without leaving ProjectWise environment with various calculation and GS applications, which store the model information in many related but separate files. Now let's look how Drive works in a real demonstration. First, I'll begin with installing Drive and synchronizing a project. To begin using Drive, users need to download and install it on their computer. Anyone can do that from Work Area Connections page or ProjectWise 365 Documents page. Just go to Drive Options menu on the right-hand side, and you'll see a screen where you have a link to download Drive installer. Also, the screen is showing a warning message in this case, indicating that there is no Drive application detected on this computer. So it's either not running or not installed. Download the installer, and when the installer is downloaded, run to set up Drive on the computer. When Drive is installed, it appears as an icon in Windows notification area. It is ready now for synchronizing projects. To do this, let's go to ProjectWise Drive option screen again. This time it is ready to synchronize. Let's do this. The project is synchronized now, and it appears in File Explorer. On the left side, you can see all projects that are currently synchronized from Bentley Systems organization, and ProjectWise Drive demo project is here too. Drive has immediately downloaded information about folders and files, and the project is now ready for use by applications. Notice those blue cloud icons next to folders and files. It indicates that the information about the file was downloaded, but the file contents was not downloaded yet. This way, Drive can make even very large projects available quickly. And this project is available for use too. Now let's look how to work with files using Drive. I am in ProjectWise Drive demo project that we have just synchronized. And in this folder, there are several images. These images are available in ProjectWise, but they were not downloaded to this computer yet. But when an application that needs the file accesses it, it is automatically downloaded. And if I continue scrolling through those images, they will be downloaded too. It takes a few seconds for an image to get into my computer. It depends on how big it is, of course. Sometimes we want those files to be available instantly for performance reason, or maybe because we want to work offline. In that case, it is possible to ask Windows to download these files in advance. So there is an option to always keep files on this device, I can set it on selected files. I can set it on a folder that will include subfolders as well. So now it will turn into solid green and all the files will be available instantly. So this time viewing the images will have no delay because they were already downloaded on this computer. Drive reflects permissions of ProjectWise into the file system. We have icons in the status column indicating different states of the document. So the red icon shows that the file was checked out. The blue lock shows a file that is checked out somewhere else, maybe by another user or in another location. A pencil icon displays a file that is editable to me and I can check it out if I want to edit. And this symbol shows document in final state. And if document is read-only, it will have a symbol showing that as well. So it's not possible to modify any contents if ProjectWise permissions do not allow that. If file is open directly without checking out from the file system, it will be read-only. So all the information is protected from accidental editing. As you can see in the title of Microsoft Word here, I have Word saying that this file is read-only. Files need to be checked out before they can be edited. To do so, I right-click on the file and use checkout function from menu items provided by Drive. Now this file will be editable, so I can open it again and make some changes. 2021 July, save it, and after I'm done editing, I see an indication that this file has changed, and I can either check in back to ProjectWise or free. Let's check in. So now the document is up into ProjectWise and everybody else will see the changes. Now let's see how to create new files from ProjectWise Drive. First, I will create an empty PowerPoint presentation file. It gets this star icon indicating that this file is only available on this computer and it is not in ProjectWise yet. To add new file to ProjectWise, there is Add to ProjectWise command in the menu. Let's use it. It shows document creation wizard. It is very similar to document creation wizard used in ProjectWise Explorer. And depending on how environment is configured, it will show different pages. So in this folder, environment contains document code, and it prompts me to define document number, which I will do. I'll generate a new document code number. In the next page, I can specify document name, description, file name, and version string. Let's call it P01. And I can also set any other attributes that are defined in environment before creating a document. Once ready, just click create, and it will add this document into ProjectWise. It has also renamed the file according to the document number, which was specified in the file name field of the wizard. So now the file is in ProjectWise and ready for everyone to use. Let's see how Drive works with ProjectWise web interface. When project is synchronized with ProjectWise Drive, ProjectWise Web and Drive work together. It is possible to go to document in ProjectWise Web by using Open in ProjectWise Web menu item from File Explorer. This opens default browser and selects a document in the project. Now, when Drive is synchronized, all file operations happen through Drive. So for example, users can open document in desktop application by clicking this command. It will start desktop application. It will also check out the document, as you can see, marked by this icon in ProjectWise web interface. This is also reflected in File Explorer. So I can continue working on this file in my application. And when it is saved and closed, check-in can happen either from web or from Drive. I've checked out from the web. I will check it in from Drive, and this will be reflected in web interface too. Users can also open file as read-only. Another enhancement provided by Drive applies to Office 365 co-authoring feature, which does not require Drive by itself. But if computer has an active Drive running, starting Office 365 co-authoring session or joining a session will start desktop application instead of using web interface to edit the file. Let's look how that works. So now it checked out the file for co-authoring and it started Microsoft Word to allow editing with desktop application. Now let's briefly talk about some administrative topics, configuring projects and understanding Drive file locations. In ProjectWise Work Area Connection or ProjectWise 365 projects, there can be more than one work area connection configured. So to illustrate this, I have added second connection to this project. ProjectWise Drive can synchronize only one connection at a time, so administrator needs to specify which one will be synchronized when users choose this option. By default, the first connection that was added into the project will be synchronized, and you can see that this shown in the connections list with the green check mark. But it is possible to change this by editing connection and changing enable ProjectWise Drive setting. By doing so, it will turn off synchronization to the currently synchronized connection, which means that if somebody is already synchronizing this to their computer, Drive will forcefully unsync the old connection and resync the new connection. It means that if some files were checked out, for example, users will not be able to check them back into ProjectWise using Drive. No changes will be lost, but they'll need to do in a less convenient way by manually picking that file from the folder structure and putting that into ProjectWise Web. So it is recommended to make this change at the beginning of the project before anybody really uses it, and don't change it in the course of the project unless it is absolutely necessary. Where Drive stores files and will it handle documents with references? So Drive places files into a location under user profile directory. So see users, username, which is the default location in Windows, and then a folder called ProjectWise, company name, and project name. This means that there will be a consistent path on every computer and for every user, but this folder path will not be identical for everyone because it contains username. Currently, this cannot be changed. So will the given application be able to find references? Well, it will depend mainly on how it is designed. Applications that use relative paths will have no trouble finding references, but applications that use full path to remember where the references are located may have difficulties because path will be physically different on different computers and different users. The other question we get asked a lot is if there is ProjectWise Explorer and Drive installed on the same computer, Can user check out a file in ProjectWise Explorer and continue working in Drive, or the other way around? Well, the answer is unfortunately no. The reason for that is that ProjectWise Explorer and Drive store files differently. It's a different folder structure and different location on the computer. So in this example on my screen, the first document in this list was checked out in ProjectWise Drive, as you can see with the status symbol, and it's shown as locked or checked out by another user or to a different location in ProjectWise Explorer. In this case, it's the same user who checked out the first file as well as the second one. It is checked out to ProjectWise Explorer, but it's shown locked in Drive. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope you find this presentation useful. Now it is time for questions and answers.